Verse 15. So the men took this present, and they took double the money with them and Benjamin. They rose and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. Okay, so they took first this, like in the order that Israel mentioned. So the food from there, the delicacies of their area, the money, and Benjamin. And they went down to Egypt, where they went to Joseph, understandably, right? Because they need to get to Joseph. Verse 16. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, "Bring the men into the house and slaughter an animal and make ready, for the men are to dine with me at noon." Okay, so Joseph saw Benjamin, most likely, I mean, they would be waiting in a room or something. Joseph either higher up or behind something, we don't know exactly. Say, okay, prepare this feast. Like the prodigal son coming back, right? And then the father had this big feast for him. Here now, Joseph is going to have a big feast for them. They're going to dine with me at noon. Okay, now, yes, he could not have lunch, noontime, time when you kind of rest because it's hot outside. Okay, I know my father always had as well his lunch break at noontime, because then it's so hot outside you can't work outside, and then everybody could rest till about 2 p.m. Verse 17. The man did as Joseph told him and brought the men to Joseph's house. Okay, so the servant, understandably, as Joseph said, he did, and he brought the brothers to Joseph's house. Verse 18. And the men were afraid because they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, "It's because of the money which was replaced in our sacks the first time that we were brought in, so that he may assault us and fall upon us and make us servants and seize our donkeys." Yeah, right. Okay, it's kind of a little bit illogical here, because they would not know that they're not taken to Joseph's house. They would not know. Maybe the servant said, "This is Joseph's house, so we are taking him." We don't know. Taking to some other maybe they, whatever. They kind of, in some other way, knew that they're going to Joseph's house. But now the illogical part starts, the stupidity kind of their reasoning is because of the money. The previous time Joseph did not make any mention of money. He spoke about that they're spies. Why didn't they think, oh, it's because they now know we are spies. Oh, but we brought a brother. They didn't know that Joseph saw them yet. Okay? So, what is now? They're just thinking of money. Maybe because of the money. Must be something, and they're going to fall on us. He's going to make us our slaves. Yeah, like they did with sending Joseph away. By selling him. Yes, the years before, 20 odd years before, they sold Joseph for money. It was about money. For Judah, it was about money. He wanted to make something out of it for himself. So in a certain sense, maybe Judah is the one thinking, yeah, I sold Joseph for money. Maybe now it's our turn. We don't know. But then as well, the funny part of seize our donkeys. Okay, the donkey is quite important, right? Because the donkeys, they need to carry the food back. But if they are going to be made servants and enslaved, then what usually would the donkeys be to them? They're not going anywhere anyhow. You are slaves. You don't need donkeys. But it's like that. We've been slaves, and they'll take our donkeys, and we will have nothing. Yeah. Verse 19. So they went up to the steward of Joseph's house and spoke with him at the door of the house. Okay, so most like the steward now, the one organizing all of that. They went up to this guy and they tried to explain to him. Verse 20, and said, "Oh my Lord, we came down the first time to buy food, And when we came to the lodging place, we opened our sacks, and there was his money in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. So we have brought it again with us. And we have brought other money down with us to buy food. We do not know who put our money in our sacks. Okay, so from their side, they're trying their best to placate the steward. Or hopefully then this guy will say something against to Joseph, and maybe they won't die, maybe they won't enslaved, and the donkeys will be taken away from them. So it's like, we came here, we bought, and then we went back, and on the way back, it's like we opened our bags, and there was all our money. If you remember again, the original story was that one opened the bag and one found the money. And then they opened in front of Jacob, Israel, and the rest, and they found all the money. I'm again pretty sure it happened as they're telling here, right? But there it didn't happen that way, not because it didn't happen that way, but because of the way they had to tell Jacob in that case, right? It's like, here they opened the bags the first time, and we didn't know anything about this. We didn't sell him as a slave. We didn't know this money here, right? That reason there. Now this is different. This is most likely what happened. After the one found it, they all looked in their bags. They all found it, but okay, we need to make now as if we didn't find it, right? See, that is what happened. So they told a different version, and here a different version. The correct version most likely is the version they're telling here. Okay, so, and we don't know who put the money in. We didn't do it, we didn't sell our brother, we had no idea, we didn't steal it, please, here's all the money back and more. The steward, verse 23, he replied, peace to you, do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has put treasure in your sacks for you. I received your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them. Okay, so your God, right? Peace be to you, right? We know shalom, peace to you, right? Okay, we always like peace to you. Don't worry, we're not going to kill you. We're not going to enslave you. We got the money. God has done this. Your God, not my God, because he's Egyptian. Not my God, your God. It's kind of interesting that he is not still, but he mentions their God. Okay, that's not to say that because of Joseph maybe, or maybe Joseph, we don't know exactly. Okay, don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But anyhow, your God, he has done this. Because it was Joseph, but God put Joseph there, so through Joseph, God doing it. Like when you sin against another human, but actually you're sinning against God, because that human belongs to God. God made him. We are all God's creation. So God ultimately then, he did this. Like Joseph said, it's God who will give an answer. I can't. And to just, stress the point, we received your money, and bringing Simeon out so that they will calm down. This is not a ploy. Don't worry, all will be well. Verse 24. And when the man had brought the men into Joseph's house and given them water, and they had washed their feet, and had given their donkeys fodder, they prepared a present for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. So the man brought out, gave them water that they could drink, washed their feet, as is culturally correct, we know. Feeding the donkeys. Remember, like Rebecca, years before, feeding the camels. So by now they ought to see, okay, seemingly they're not all will be well here. They did not understand why. Okay, but seemingly all is going well. And that time, now they had the time to prepare the present. So, bring out everything, put it there on the table or something like that. I remember as well, one time a Russian lady living in Wayne asked me, there was this, from the Orthodox Church, the most important priest coming from Bangkok down, and someone from Russia came as well, and the things had to be prepared. And she actually asked me to go and prepare everything for their coming. So I had to make sure all the photos, the books, everything, the icons, everything is in the right place, kind of. Way in here in Thailand, and yeah, and so maybe in a way this is what they're doing. They brought all the presents. They had to put everything there in a respectable way, in the right way. Okay, so they had the time to prepare, because they know, they then heard that they're going to eat there.